From 500 kilometers up, the most striking feature of our planet isn't the land or the sea, it's the clouds. At any given moment, 2/3 of the Earth is obscured by this white vapor, creating a massive, natural barrier for orbital observation. We have thousands of satellites in orbit today, tracking everything from shipping lanes to glacial melt. Yet most of them are powerless to see through this basic layer of weather, leaving us with massive gaps in our daily data. Then there is the issue of rotation. Every 24 hours, half the planet slips into shadow. For standard optical sensors, this transition into night makes the ground below effectively invisible. This combination of cloud cover and darkness has limited our ability to monitor the planet continuously. For decades, orbital surveillance remained an intermittent process, dictated entirely by the weather and the clock. To understand the solution, you have to look at the two tools we already have. Traditional optical satellites work like high-end cameras. They provide sharp, intuitive images, but they require sunlight and clear skies to function. The alternative is synthetic aperture radar, or SAR. Instead of capturing light, SAR fires microwave pulses at the ground and reads the reflection. It can see through a hurricane or the middle of the night. But SAR comes with a trade-off. The data it returns is abstract and geometric. These ghostly readouts require specialized analysts to interpret, making the information difficult to use for rapid, automated decision-making. Because these sensors were always housed on separate satellites, we had to choose between the visual clarity of optical and the all-weather reliability of radar. We could never have both at the same time. Resolving this conflict required a different engineering perspective. It began at the Indian Institute of Technology Madras, within a startup ecosystem designed to push students beyond traditional aerospace boundaries. The founding team first gained international attention not in space, but on the ground. As Team Avishkar, they were one of only 21 teams globally to qualify for the SpaceX Hyperloop competition, proving they could build complex systems for extreme environments. That experience with high-precision engineering led 5 of those students and their professor to form GalaxEye. They bypassed traditional career paths at established aerospace firms to focus on a single, difficult question: why hasn't anyone combined these two sensors on one platform? In 2020, they began working out of a small office in Chennai. They lacked the massive budgets of government agencies, but they had the advantage of starting during a period when India was first opening its space sector to private commercial entities. This timing allowed the team to move quickly, iterating on a design that the legacy industry had long considered a secondary priority compared to building larger, single-sensor satellites. The industry standard flew 2 separate satellites. You capture radar, wait for the optical satellite later, and try to align the images. By then, subjects have moved. The GalaxEye solution, OptoSAR, places both radar and optical imagers on a single platform, capturing both streams exactly at once. An onboard AI handles real-time sub-pixel co-registration, fusing them into one all-weather, visually intuitive image. This is the Drishti satellite. It weighs 190 kilograms, orbits at 500 kilometers, and delivers 1.2-meter resolution imagery. By solving the synchronization problem at the hardware level, the team created a way to see through the sky's limitations without the delays of traditional data processing. This has immediate practical applications. During a flood, relief teams can use Drishti to map submerged roads and stranded populations directly through the storm clouds, providing data that standard satellites simply cannot see until the weather clears. It also changes maritime and agricultural monitoring. It can track ships that turn off their transponders to hide in the dark, and it can monitor crop health through the heavy cloud cover of a monsoon season. The transition from theory to orbit occurred on May 3, 2025. Drishti launched from Vandenberg Space Force Base in California, marking the first time this specific sensor fusion was deployed commercially. As the satellite began its orbit, it established a new capability for global observation, one where the presence of clouds or the onset of night no longer dictates when we can see the ground. While established aerospace programs in the US and Europe have spent billions on massive, specialized fleets, this Chennai-based team has achieved a multi-sensor fusion that isn't yet available from those larger commercial operators. For India's growing space industry, this represents a shift in roles. The country is moving from a consumer of external satellite data to a developer of original hardware that the global market is now looking to acquire. The long-term plan involves a constellation of 10 satellites. This network will provide continuous global monitoring, allowing for the capture of high-resolution imagery at any time, anywhere on the planet, regardless of weather. A team of engineers from Bengaluru addressed a technical barrier that has limited orbital observation since its inception. They demonstrated that with the right integration of sensors and AI, the sky is no longer a place for the world to hide.